Greetings everyone, and welcome to ZTV's 5-Minute Flashback, where we take a few minutes to recognize some significant moments in history. I'm your host, Roman Ross, and today we're going to be discussing Romans. Well, the secrets of ancient Romans, to be more specific. You see, the Roman Empire, besides having a really cool name, had some of the most impressive feats of engineering that mankind has ever conceived. Rome was way ahead of its time, developing an intricate network of paved roads, ports, and massive structures, like the Colosseum, the Pantheon, and the Aqueduct, all of which have withstood the elements for nearly 2 millennia. Other than their military prowess and engineering, Rome's success was largely in part due to their building materials, most notably their concrete, a mixture of slaked lime, rock fragments, and pozzolanic ash. It was quite literally the building block of their empire. However, this wasn't always the case. On July 19, 64 AD, a great fire swept over Rome, completely devastating 10 of the city's 14 districts. The fire started in the Merchants District, outside of the Circus Maximus. If you've seen the movie Gladiator, that's the city's chariot racing stadium. Since most of the structures in Rome at this time were primarily made out of wood, it quickly spiraled out of control. Following the devastation, Nero, the emperor, decided that the city would be reconstructed primarily out of brick and concrete, with its architecture taking inspiration from the Greeks, thus paving the way for the concrete industry in Rome. While the Romans weren't the first to invent concrete, their recipe was by far the most durable. But what's the big deal about this stuff anyway? I mean, surely we have cement that's stronger today. Don't we? Well, don't call me Shirley. And in a sense, yes, we do. Portland cement does have a higher compressive strength than Roman cement, which is important if you want things like skyscrapers, but it does have a flaw in its design. If you take a stroll down any city in the Midwest USA, you will notice that modern concrete has a habit of cracking and falling apart at an accelerated rate. While there were multiple factors that contributed to this, water is certainly the biggest culprit. Cracks are pretty normal in concrete. They can happen from shrinking during the process of hardening and drying. The problem is when water fills these cracks and causes expansion, leading to further degradation. Now, just to clarify, this also happens in Roman concrete. However, what sets it apart from modern cement is its unique ability to heal itself. This is a big deal because this healing ability is how ancient Roman structures were able to last millennia. But why does this happen? What makes it heal? Well, for the longest time, we didn't really know. It was suspected that the pozzolanic ash played a part in its durability. This volcanic material is from Pozzoli, near the Bay of Naples, and it must have been an important ingredient to the mix because it could be found anywhere that the Romans had occupied. However, it wasn't certain that this was the cause of the healing properties. Scientists have been stumped by this mystery for decades, and it seemed like the ancient knowledge was lost to time. That is, until very recently. As recent as January 6th of 2023, a team of researchers from multiple institutions published a scientific paper after making an interesting discovery. It was always known beforehand that Roman concrete contains these tiny white chunks known as limeclast. These tiny mineral features are millimeters in scale and clearly come from the lime added in the mixture. But these limeclasts are absent from any modern concrete mixtures, despite lime being a common ingredient even today. Previous speculation had limeclasts written off as just sloppy mixing by the Romans, or poor quality of raw materials. One of the researchers, Admir Masick, a professor at MIT, pointed out that this explanation didn't really make a whole lot of sense. The Romans put so much effort into making such an outstanding construction material that lasts centuries, so why would they not put as much effort into the mixing procedures? Now, it was always assumed that the lime was mixed with the water before being added to the rest of the ingredients to form a paste. It's a process called slaking. However, no limeclasts are present as a result of slaking, which seems to suggest that they would have had to have added quicklime, a much more reactive form of lime. Not only does this change the chemistry of the mixture, but it also generates a lot of heat, allowing it to cure at a much faster rate. Most importantly, when the crack is formed, the calcium carbonate reacts to any water it comes into contact with, and it reforms itself to fill the crack, creating its healing properties. This is an amazing discovery. Millions of dollars are spent every year in maintaining the integrity of concrete infrastructure. Not only is this a cost-effective technique if commercialized, but it would also minimize the amount of concrete being mixed, having a positive effect on the environment. As it stands today, 8% of global carbon emissions comes from cement production. Anything that helps reduce our carbon footprint is a win in my book. It's truly wild how much we can learn from our history. I can't help but to think that finding hidden gems of ancient knowledge like this may prove that perhaps the key to saving our future rests in our past. If you like this episode, follow us on social media at ZTV 5 Minute Flashback. It helps me out, it helps the channel out, and it's free. I'm Roman Ross. Thanks for watching.
This program was produced by ZTV at the University of Akron. Do you want to gain experience in video production, professional social media, or working with real clients? Visit the UA School of Communications online or follow us on social media to learn more. ZTV, make media, make a difference.